A common problem with advertisers across everyone in the business is promotions and seasonality. I think the challenge that we have with that is, how do you capture the impact of pricing, promotional changes, or seasonal demand changes in a way that decouples that with your advertising? If you're running a promotion and, according to Dr. Hansen's, the changes in price are 20 times more impactful than the changes in advertising. So if you're doing a 20x thing, your advertising doesn't suddenly get 20 times better on that one day. It's the promotion of 50% off, 20% off, what have you. So how do we capture that appropriately? And then how do we handle that both in our experimentation stack and our modeling stack as to not mess up what is the impact of advertising? Because really what you're measuring is the impact of promotions in your top line revenue. So there's a couple different ways of handling it. I'm going to speak a little bit more generally about it. But one thing is you can flag the day out and say, hey, this is a day that's not really reliably estimating the impacts of advertising overall on average, and investment decisions should be made off of that. Your investment decisions might be made off of your P&L, your promotional things, but not your media piece. So one solution is flagging it. We've had a bunch of different clients with different promotional schedules. Some promote every day, and then there's a couple days that they don't promote. So it's almost like the days they don't promote are the ones that need to be flagged or highlighted because it's a negative promotion day. So there is a lot of nuance with how it's happening. And away from the promotional piece and more into the seasonality piece, there's implications when you're running experiments because of this. And this is something that, with Mother's Day coming up and a couple other holidays, there is a challenge to say, if we're fluctuating budgets, if you happen to fluctuate during a high demand time, or if you're happening to fluctuate low during a high demand time, that will impact what comes out of the model. And that's where we have to make sure we're very careful in choosing both the time frame and then the balance of when we're doing those highs and lows to be able to get that diminishing returns curve. Because if you are pushing hard when there is high demand and pushing low when there's low demand, it's going to show that advertising works a lot better than it does. So the experiment design, the handling of the promotional events, handling of the seasonality, and maybe testing at different points in different seasonal places all give you information that allows you to make a more robust model and possibly enable you to get closer to what is the impact of just advertising. And that's really what we want to measure, because a promotional thing, I saw this at when I was agency side. We ran so many promotions, we cannibalized our existing sales. They were off from their forecast by a large magnitude, and all the assumptions I put in there were correct except for the average order value. So when you're running a promotion, it's almost like you can overdose on promotions because there's a given people in market at a time. There's a given percentage of that would buy your product anyways. And by discounting that, you're making less revenue for yourself. So we see those kind of instances come up for people who want short-term revenue and high impact, high immediate results advertising, but it really does erode your brand equity over a large period of time. So these are the kind of pieces and levers that we consult with our clients on, and that everyone in the industry is kind of talking about as common problems around that seasonality and promotion consideration. And it's really something that, I'm very lucky. We have a whole advisory board of professors and experts in the field that allow me to bounce ideas off of and make sure we refine things. But after seeing so many different problems across different clients, a lot of those have now been baked into the product in a way that is like having an expert or an advisor for you, but is kind of by default in code.